Sector is clear.
Give us everything we got! All wings.
Hey there guys, Ado Degasa here, aka JediBro95. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. In this video, we're continuing on with our 5-tip series, and in this video is going to be 5 tips on how to improve your Count Dooku gameplay. Now, Count Dooku, in my opinion, is the most underrated lightsaber hero in this game. I rarely see people giving Dooku a try, and it's a bit of a shame because Count Dooku, in this game, he has fantastic damage output and abilities, and I would even go as far as to say that if you know what you're doing, he's one of the top 7 lightsaber heroes, maybe even approaching top 5, depending on how good you are. You can really turn Dooku into a dominant force of nature in hero modes, especially. In trooper modes, not so much, because Dooku, he really doesn't effectively deal with troopers that efficiently outside of his lightning stun. But you know, with that out of the way, gentlemen, tip number 1 I'm going to give you guys is to be making sure that you take advantage of the duelist ability. And that's not just using the duelist ability in the game, that's also maximizing his ability to use duelist with cards like Balanced and Masterful Duelist. Because both of those cards are very powerful, and I would definitely recommend you give those a try. Because duelist on its own is an insane insane ability in and of itself. But when you add the ability to increase your cooldown time of Duelist by about 4 seconds, which makes Duelist available every 8 seconds, and then increasing Dooku's Duelist output damage by 20, considering that Dooku already does about 140 damage on the front, and then 160 damage to troopers from behind, yeah, it's, you know, adding an extra 20 damage to that, on top of that, is going to be pretty deadly. And I would definitely recommend you go full in on his duelist ability in hero modes. Trooper modes, if you really want to be playing Dooku in trooper modes, I would recommend that you just put on last seconds instead of Masterful Duelist, because it doesn't matter how much damage output you have for troopers, even if you add Masterful Duelist, it's still going to take the same number of swings to kill a trooper than it would be with Masterful Duelist. So I would definitely just not use that card in in trooper modes, but in hero modes it's definitely worth the upgrade. Anyways, tip number 2, gentlemen, I'm going to give you guys is use lightning stun as often as you can as well. Dooku's overall skill set is just amazing, but lightning stun is a great way to catch enemies off guard, get them off their feet, and knock them to the ground, and that way you can get a couple of shots in, or maybe even one, depending on the server you're in and the latency. But definitely get use Dooku's lightning stun as much as you can as well. That and the fact that it also, actually continuing on with that tip, it actually also kills up to 2 infantry at once, so you can use Dooku's lightning stun to kill up to 2 infantries at the same time. Now, 3 or 2 or more than 2, and then you're gonna have to be doing an extra damage after that. But Dooku's lightning stun is a fantastic one-hit ability on troopers, and it is just overall his best ability in trooper modes. Tip number 3, gentlemen, is actually going to be me addressing a couple of cards that people have some misconceptions about. The first one is going to be the blind spot card. I think a lot of new players, when they see this card, they think to themselves that it increases the radius and the forward trajectory of Dooku's lightning stun. To you new players that think that, unfortunately that is not the case with Dooku's lightning stun. All it does with that specific card is it just increases how much wider you can use his lightning stun on. It does not increase the forward trajectory, it increases the angle around Dooku that you can use his lightning stun on. So you can increase it more to the left or right, which is good because it can help hit people in farther angles, but it's also not very good because it doesn't reach out farther towards other people. And then the second card I want to talk about that a lot of people don't really, I think loot players are probably confused on as well, is the Initiative Star card. So when you first spawn in with Dooku, you will have a critical lightsaber strike, which will deal extra damage. I think it's 50 extra damage for a normal lightsaber swing. I think that's how that works. Then, yes, that's how it works. Then, when you use your lightsaber swing, you will lose your critical strike, and then for about 15 seconds. However, every lightsaber attack that you successfully deal to people will be decrease that recharge time by 1 second. So let's say, for example, you hit a person with a lightsaber attack, a critical lightsaber swing. Okay, then you hit the person with 3 follow-up attacks afterwards. Well, you will then have the ability to get a critical strike back within 11 seconds. So 11 seconds later, you will have another critical strike, pending if you don't get another hit with it, Dooku afterwards. So those are just a couple misconceptions that I see a lot of people wondering about with the star card, with those specific star cards, and I just felt like addressing them in this video. Tip number 4, gentlemen, is to use Dooku in Hero Showdown as much as you can, okay? I'm not saying you have to use Dooku all the time, but Dooku is king in 1v1 combat. Dooku cannot be, unless you were just really bad, or you're just having a really unlucky day, Dooku is very, very, very strong in in 1v1 duel modes, like Hero Showdown, when you're going up against, mainly 2v2s. So I would definitely use Dooku in Hero Showdown as much as possible, because that is just the best mode for him, guys. And then finally, gentlemen, tip number 5 is expose weakness plus duelist plus and then just hitting like a blaster hero. It will actually demolish blaster heroes. Dooku's duelist plus exposed weakness demolishes blaster heroes, and it's not even fair some days, because if you hit exposed weakness on a blaster hero and activate duelist, you can do about 700 to 750 damage in 3 swings. That is insane. Like, that is a lot of damage just for 3 swings. So I would make sure that you use, if you're going to go into a fight with a blaster hero, use Dooku's exposed weakness to drop the defense's capabilities of exposed weakness. Plus, also, it makes it so that way the blaster hero, or the hero in question that you're use it on, he can't really run away like that, because exposed weakness also limits mobility. So I would definitely use exposed weakness and duelist when you're going up against a blaster hero, as it just ruins other blaster heroes, and it makes their life not as fun to play, not as much fun to be on as it is normally. But anyways, gentlemen, these are going to be just 5 tips on how to improve your Count Dooku gameplay. If you did like the video, gentlemen, obviously be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Also, Dooku mains, if there are any other tips out there that you would like to give us, do feel free to let us know in the comment section below, gentlemen. Again, thank you for the patience for waiting for the last 5-tip series. I know I waited about a week and a half, close to, after the Finn one, because unfortunately we had a bit of a COVID scare here at in my life and at my work, so I decided to put off uploading. So thank you guys for being ever so patient again. It really does mean a whole lot to me that you guys, were not just people were not unsubscribing from the channel, but also people were coming to the channel afterwards. So again, thank you very much, guys, and with that, I'm out. Peace.